Okay. So we're looking at a Kagura versus Vexana here. What were your thoughts going into this game? What was difficult about this game for you? Yeah, difficulties with the Franco. Okay. How about like in general? Like, what was the part of this game? Like, what were you having difficulties like you with? Like in your playstyle, were you having did you have difficulties with roaming? Did you have difficulties with getting ganked too much? Yeah, what was hard for you about this game? Yeah, you had trouble roaming here, and you had trouble with the enemy roam. Okay, let's take a look. So what? This is a two-part game. It's like
Welcome to Mobile
20 some odd
Legends.
minutes. We'll take a look
Reaches
here.
the void.
I do want to just take a look at our notes really quickly before I start further. So look, so the thing I want to address here, the thing that we talked about that we're gonna address is if you're missing any of your kills, so your potential kill timings and the quality of your roams. So we're gonna take a look. Is this? Why is it on 720p? I don't know. It was on 480. What was that about? That was okay. Let's take a look. Getting our farm early. See it. I want to see us. I want to see an early farm. Especially into a Vexana here. Like her wave, Vexana's wave clear early is very, very slow. Like she has to get 2 rotations of her abilities off for it to kill the wave, and that takes a long time for her. So like against Vexana in the early game, you should either be going for some early damage on the Vexana, or a fast clear on your wave like you did, and a roam. Yeah, so we're roaming up here. I don't know about roaming up alone though. Like this, especially against a Franco, like this is extremely dangerous. Going up here, I actually forgot to. Oh, that's not the thing I want to launch. Sorry, I wanted this. Wait a second, it's launching. I just want this ready. Yeah, we have to be careful here, especially when you're alone, because you're Florin's bot side. So when you roam, what you want to do is you want to try to find roams, again, where you have number advantage. So if you can rotate to the direction your players are going, so in this case, you should probably go down here, because that's where your jungler's going. Your jungler's pathing, well, no, actually, sorry, your jungler's pathing up. But here, your jungler is bot side right now. Your support's bot side. Your gold lane's here. So you want to path towards where there's more people on the map. That's kind of how you want to decide where you roam. You know that your jungler's starting here, so they're going to be pathing top side. So you have to be ready for that top side play at the same time. So that's what I want to see you do. I want to see if you catch the time, because here you should be very careful. Franco could have hook, and you could just like straight up die. Yeah, we know where he is. We're playing safe. Yeah, we gotta be careful here. So you should save your movement abilities for Franco. Like, especially when you know he's there, you have to kind of wait until he's dodging. Because if not, you're just gonna take way too much damage. We also should not. You can't walk up here. You're not allowed to. You can't walk here. This is just asking to die. You're against a Vexana and a Franco, right? Like, you can't just walk up to bushes. Vexana's gonna skill 1 you, skill 2 you, and you're gonna, like, explode for half your HP, if not more. And Franco, you're walking into his bush. That's what he wants. He wants you to walk up so he can just start punching you. And then hook when you try to get away. So you really have to clear these bushes first. You have to have someone help you, because
Initiate retreat.
You can't sit here. Walk. Kai was missing as well. We're getting a fast. So here, again, here we're just late. At this point in your roam, you should decide that you have to go back. Like, this isn't a. You're already saying retreat for your team. You know this is a bad fight. You're already. This is telling me that you know this is a bad fight. So why are you still walking down at this point, right? You should tell them to retreat and get your wave because it's in the process of crashing. You want to catch it right now. So now that way, because your jungler's about to go top, you want to be top with them, right? You want to try to coordinate with your jungler for ganks. It just makes your roaming so much easier if you have someone to roam for. Like here we're pinging to rotate, but we're still walking down. And now we've rotated. Now we've, like, you've processed it enough. Now you're walking back. So you kind of just wasted some extra time when you could have been back to your wave faster. And here, you should 100% be walking up, especially with the river speed. Because that just lets you group up with your team faster and lets you get maybe a gank here out of, before Teresa gets back to the. But again, we're hitting the gold plating. Gold plating's not bad. It's not a bad decision. But, like, I would rather see you roam topside than hit the gold tower. In reality. We're a little bit late on that. Yeah, we're just late to the turtle, and it's just because you decided to not... Like, it all comes back to this moment here, where you overstay the rotation too much. Like, this whole sequence of events where you don't roam and you're late, it all spans from just this decision of walking down instead of walking up. Like, that's how big of a decision this is. It seems like so little, but those extra few seconds is what's caused you to just be late to the objective. And potentially for it to get... Now they all show up. Now we all show up in time, because we haven't done some damage to the turtle. We would have dealt, like, an extra 2,000 damage in those 3 seconds. And turtle gets stolen. It's honestly, we wasted time going down when we knew it's a bad fight, but we didn't commit to the decision that, hey, this is a bad fight, I should just go. I go back to my wave. Is really what your decision was. You told the enemy the right call, but you didn't listen to your own call. You kind of went for it anyway. I mean, we get the kill here at least. It's not the end of the world.
An enemy has been slain. Kill. Been double kill.
I mean, yeah, that flash is probably worth it. We get the kill. I like that you leave the wave for your teammate and go for your wave again. Yeah, you kind of have to reset your rate. Yeah. I mean, I don't even know. You could have reset earlier, I guess. Because what you're doing now is kind of rough for your team. I want you to try to explain. If you don't know why, that's fine. But can you tell me why resetting, like, for example, now, like, after you get the skill, if you would reset right away, do you understand why it would be better than recalling after you kill this wave that's in mid already? Can you just try to explain to me? Think through it. Like, can you give me an answer? This might be a concept that, it's not that you're missing the next wave. It might be a concept that I haven't fully talked to you about, and that concept is called tempo. And knowing when to recall is really good tempo. So the reason why you should reset now is because you're technically right, but wrong about your answer. Not you're missing the next wave. You should technically be missing this wave. Because you're already low on mana, you want to get back on the map at the same time as the opponent. What tempo is. Because if you lose tempo, you're resetting, but you're giving your opponent time to roam, time to do stuff on the map. Whereas you just won the fight. You should have the tempo, right? Because you won the fight. You guys went up. That means you should be up in tempo as well. So you should use that tempo to reset now. Because Vexana is still dead, right? you're not. Yes, you're gaining this wave by killing it first, but then you're losing on the next wave potentially if Vexana plays it properly. You should lose most of the next wave if she freezes it or if she gets zoned off. So and you're getting back on the map late. So if she decides to fast clear it, well, now you're giving her time to roam, where you're stuck at your own tower and having to clear. So here, now that you're resetting after, she fast clears the wave. She's getting the exact roam that I was talking about 2 seconds. They get a kill, and now you're stuck under tower. If you had reset before, you would have gotten to this wave first. You would have cleared it, and then you would have roamed first. So you would have had the first play instead of her having the first play and you getting the wave before. So you didn't really lose much gold here, but in the grand scheme of things, you kind of lost a lot of tempo. You lost a rotation worth of time, is what happened. Because you reset too late. Does that make sense? Or do you want me to explain it a bit? Do you have questions about that specifically? Because I can go over it a little bit more if you need to, that doesn't make 100% sense. That does make sense. Perfect. Yeah, it's literally just it's not even that you're losing resources in this case. It's you're losing tempo, which is just a concept of how much time am I losing. So here you're just losing a lot of time and you're giving the opponent time. So even though you guys won the last team fight, you actually went down on this exchange because of the bad reset timing is what happened. So you should have given up like 1 or 2 extra minions in the mid wave to reset earlier, because then you would have been on the map first, you would have killed the wave first, you would have gone to roam first, and potentially gone further ahead. But instead you're clearing wave. So it's like, it's not that you lost anything. You didn't do anything wrong technically, but you lost a lot of time by not resetting.
Quest back. I have been slain.
I mean, he wasted his hook, that's fine. I mean, I probably would have used an ability to secure that. I wouldn't have... But you're going for the litho, like, over your wave as well. Like, at this point, you should be at your wave again. Like, you gotta remember, if the wave is getting into the middle, you want to try to clear it as soon as it gets there. The litho isn't even really something you need to fight for. Like, this is something, like, your jungler cares about more than anything. It's good to not give it up, obviously, but as the mage, you don't need to go kill it, unless you have the time for it, right? But right now, you don't have the time for it, because you're losing time on your wave. So you're just losing, again, you're losing tempo. So you should be clearing this wave quicker, so you can go roam to your team. Go help them. Go play your part in the role. But we're just wasting a bit of time here. Yeah, we're clearing our wave, but look how much slower.
Understood.
Like, the wave hasn't even been cleared yet, and the next wave is already spawning, right? This is how much time we lost by contesting the litho instead of just clearing a wave and then roaming to a team fight. Because now your team is, again, in a disadvantaged fight. The enemy mage has roamed, but you haven't roamed. So now your team is in the man disadvantage, and you're not there to help them offset that. So it's like your goal is really to be there in those side lane skirmishes, in those jungle skirmishes, to be that man advantage, or to be the one that stabilizes the man disadvantage. Because the more often you have equal numbers or greater numbers, the more often you're going to win the fight. And you remember, you are the one that has the most impact. If you're in the fight, you could win the fight at any point. So it's like you just have to try to, as the mage, you have to be the one that is clearing your wave as much as possible, to get as many resources as possible, because you need to get strong early to get ahead early. You're doing really good, by the way, on farm. 2200, 2200. Like, you're equal, perfect. And you're ahead of your jungle. Your gold lane is getting crushed right now. Which is, it's honestly because you're not roaming towards them. Like, you haven't looked at them enough. So you gotta just pick one. You're doing your good thing. You're not losing farm, but you're losing a lot of tempo now when you're catching your waves. So that's the next thing I want you to look at is what I'm doing good tempo? Am I getting ahead on time. Because time is a resource that people don't think about. Time is something that people spend doing things. So I want you to start. You're doing good. I've seen you the past weeks we've done reviews. Your laning is really strong. You're usually ahead. You're usually winning your lane, which is great. Your roaming has gotten more. You're roaming a lot more now. But now I want you to start working on your specific tempo. Make sure that you are ahead of your opponent. Not in just resources, but ahead in time. Because the faster you get somewhere, that's slower. That's how much longer they take. Because like a fight can be won in a matter of 2 to 3 seconds, right? If you get a good ult off on their marksman, the fight could be over right away before their mage even gets to the fight. So it's like if you can win even 2 to 3 seconds somewhere on a roam before your opponent, you could put yourself in a great spot to win the game or win a skirmish or something.
Double kill. Attack. Herb AoE.
I mean, this is a great call. Yeah, this is perfect. This is an example of you're now at the point in the river. Like this, I'll give you the example. This is exactly where you're in the river, where your wave is gonna be at the center by the time you could walk back, or by the time you can commit to the roam. This is where you should be questioning yourself every time. When you get to this point at the roam, where you're at the halfway point of committing and not committing, you have to then look at your map and tell yourself, is this a roam worth committing for? Am I going to get a kill? Am I going to win an objective? Am I going to get something for my wave? Because if the answer is no, I'm not getting a kill or an assist, like we're not killing someone, or no, we're not winning a turtle, no, we're not winning a turret, and no, I'm not putting my team, like if your team is going to be in a man disadvantage, yes, it's worth going, even if you're not guaranteed a kill. Because stopping the opponent from getting a man advantage fight is also worth roaming for, because that's just like, that's what they want as well, right? So if the answer is no to all of the questions, where no, it's not a worthwhile roam, I'm not getting a kill, we're not getting objective, my team won't be in a disadvantage, then the answer should be no, I don't go. The answer should be, okay, I have time to get back to my wave, clear the wave, and now I start a new roam. Now I'm looking again. I start walking bot again. Am I in a good spot to roam? Ask the same questions. If the answer is yes, perfect. This is one of those times where the answer is yes, we're going to get a kill on this Leslie. She's overextended. Perfect. I want to see this roam. This is where you've ticked the boxes and you've answered the roam properly. But we need to go right away. You should just run at her. You don't want to give her the time to get away, because this Leslie's playing it really bad right now. She's overstaying where she's not allowed to. A better player, if you stayed up here too long, she would have just ran away. She would have skilled one and started running, because this is a very obvious roam, because you're not at mid anymore. She should almost be certain that you're here, right? That's just how it works, because you're not topside. That's if they're a good player, they will clock things like this. They'll see, oh, the mid laner's not clearing their wave, the mid laner's not in the team fight top. Okay, the mid laner should be towards me, right? That's kind of what the gold laner is going to be questioning themselves. So you have to be ready for that, because again, it's all about time, right? If we continue running, we're at 55. We're at a really great angle. We should just run straight like this. Cut off the escape so she can't run no matter what. Instead, what we do is at 56, we could have been probably around cutting off her escape. We would have been probably in front of the bush where she could have been escaping, because she should be escaping already, right? You should be anticipating that your enemy does what they're supposed to do, not anticipate a mistake. So she stays for about 4 seconds in this bush for too long. If we walk down where she had actually ran, she's going to get out for free, because we sat in this bush and we didn't do anything. We waited for Clint to walk up. But remember, Clint is also extremely far down. Clint is probably losing this matchup extremely hard, especially when Leslie gets ahead. She can one-shot marksmans extremely quickly. So you want to be careful when ganking your behind gold laner, especially into Leslie. You have to commit onto that Leslie. You can't let her shoot her burst off onto the Clint, because she might just legit one-shot the guy. and there's nothing you can do about it if you're too slow. This is like specifically a Leslie thing. Her burst early on is crazy with how low HP marksmen have, and same with mid laners. So we really have to full commit this gank so she doesn't have any chance of escaping. Because a good Leslie would not have stayed in this bush. She would have left way earlier. She overstayed, which is which is perfect. You capitalized on her mistake, but you made a mistake yourself by just sitting in this bush, waiting for the wave to be back. Oh, please tell me we kill. Okay. We get the kill still, but that was... You see how close she was to getting away? And she overstayed a full 4 seconds too, right? Imagine if she didn't overstay those 4 seconds. You guys would not have gotten this kill. And then you would have lost a wave mid for no reason, right? The roam wouldn't have been worth it. So you really want to commit harder on those engages. When you go for a gank, hard commit for that gank. Go straight for their marks and cut off their escape path so they can't get out. Yeah, she 100% almost escaped, which is extremely crazy with how hard you guys punished it too. Like imagine she wasted 4 seconds and you guys barely killed her. Like that's how easy Leslie is to escape if people, especially against like a marksman that relies on targeting if they don't use their skills properly. Here we have to go back turtle. You have to go back turtle. Always go to the objective. Always go to your objective. If the objective is up, you should be looking at the objective. This is not winnable. Like, this is a 3v1. Even if you go topside, it's just a 3v2, and that's still bad. Also, your wave is here. So you can't roam top at all here. Like, you're not allowed. You really have to focus on your thing. Do you kill him? Yeah, because, like, look how much time we wasted, right? Like, we wasted time going up here. If we had just cleared this wave instead, like, if we had just gone to clear this wave and then roamed down, this would have been so easy, right? Yeah, like, but your job, like, I think you're missing, your job isn't to mark, like, you should not be going against the guy. He is not your job to deal with, right? You're the mage, you're the person. If you can get a kill on him because he's low, sure. That's awesome. But that's not your main target. Your job as a mid laner should be ensuring you're clearing your waves early. That's your #1 priority. Make sure you're clearing your waves to actually get your gold, get your EXP. Because everyone needs to be doing their farm. Because if you're not farming, you're losing. So you need to prioritize your farm and prioritize your roaming to priority targets. Your priority targets are the marksman or wherever your jungle and your roam are, right? Your priority targets are your teammates to outnumber the enemy in team fights, in skirmishes, or to gank the gold lane, because that's a 2v1 if you go there alone, right? You need to remember your priority and what your job is in this game, because this is just you wasting time. And again, tempo is so important. If you, instead of wasting this time here, you could have cleared this wave, you could have gone bottom. Because clearing the objective faster is way better than you, like, stalling the Akai, right? Because in reality, he could just walk past you and just not care. Because he's an Akai. He doesn't really care about you. Especially when he has his team. Obviously, they're not going to get this objective. But you're having trouble clearing this wave now because they're zoning you on. They're on this wave. So it's taking you so much longer to leave your lane now because you didn't just clear it earlier. You spent it like fighting them, kind of thing. Like you're prioritizing the wrong thing. We even lost the turtle here. Like we even lost the turtle because you weren't here. So we made a few mistakes. We don't clear the wave that's coming. We're wasting time going top lane on a bad roam, and then we're sitting in a bush when there's a wave that's clashed. So it's like it's not like you're making huge mistakes anywhere that are glaring, right? You're getting better at playing your fundamentals right, but now you have to worry about not making mistakes that are costing you stuff, because you're not making a mistake that's losing you anything straight up. You're not losing anything by doing what you're doing. and that's perfect. You're playing better. But now, instead of losing straight up resources, now you're losing precious time, which is arguably so much worse to lose because you're not because you're stuck doing nothing. And the more you do nothing, the less impact you have on a game. So now that you've gotten much better at not losing, honestly, there's honestly not much of a point to watch the rest of this game. I'll be full real. This is kind of, at this point, we've kind of made quite a few like mistakes, and at this point it's like end of review kind of thing. We need to really work on our early game. I don't want to. Your mid game, you're playing it fine. You're not making glaring mistakes anymore. You're getting much better. Perfect. Now I want you to start really honing in on your early game. Start really focusing. Those first 5 minutes of the game are extremely crucial for a mid laner, especially mid lane and roam. Like they have some of the most impact extremely early because of how much damage the mage can do, like burst damage out of nowhere, and how much like CC a roam can have, right? The earlier they get impact on the map, the earlier they're influencing the other lanes, the easier it is to snowball the game, right? So if you can if you can consistently focus on clearing your wave on respawn. So we're gonna go through this, okay? So I want you to start remembering this. Like, you don't obviously have to do it day one. I'm not expecting you to learn this immediately, implement it to every game, but it's something I want you to start working on probably over the next few weeks. I want to say probably 2 to 3 weeks. What has happened? Okay. Oh my god, what is going on with my computer? Okay, load faster, please. This is.
Ultra
Go back one more.
reaches
Okay.
the battlefield. Smash
So
them.
I need you to start recognizing before I even ask this. Do you know when waves spawn? Do you know the timing for wave spawns? No. It's way faster than that. way faster. Waves spawn at every 11 and 41 seconds on the timer. So what that tells you is from 11 seconds, not even, sorry, they spawn at 11, and you'll see it'll crash here at 30, a little bit earlier. It crashes here at 26. So that's 15 seconds from when the wave spawns to when it walks up to the lane and hits the middle. And that's 15 seconds from when it hits the wave in the middle to when the next one spawns. So you have to tell yourself, you have a total of 30 seconds in total from wave to wave, from crash to crash. So as soon as the wave hits the middle, you're on a clock now. I want you to start literally looking at the time at the top of your screen now. Every time the wave crashes, you're on a 30-second timer where you have to be back in your wave. For the next, I don't know, 10 games, that is the main thing I want you to focus on. For the first 5 minutes on the game, you have to be in your lane at the start of every wave crash. Obviously, I'm not going to say if you get kicked out, if you die, whatever. There's obviously exceptions to that if you get a good roam. If you have to be in lane where you don't have a good roam, you didn't get zoned out, I want you to be in lane to catch it every single time at the 30-second mark. So you know it'll be in the middle at 26 and 56 on the clock. So that means you have to be there at 26 and 56 if you don't have a reason to be somewhere else. That's all I want you to focus on. Just the first 5 minutes. You don't have to do the whole game. Just the first 5 minutes of your game, focused very hard on actually doing that. And you'll notice how much easier roaming gets when you have more time to roam. Because the faster you get to your wave and the faster you clear it, the more of that 30-second timer you actually get to use, right? Because if you're taking a long time to get to the wave once it crashes, you're already eating into your 30-second time to roam for the next roam because you're overstaying on the current one. So it's like you're losing time for yourself by overstaying when you shouldn't be. Is what's happening. So It's just a time thing. So I want you to focus on that. That's the only learning we're gonna do because that's a really honestly a big one, and it's gonna be time consuming. It's hard to do. You're not gonna be good at it right away. That's fine, but try to remind yourself every time you're in the game before you're starting. Remember what you have to do. Be at your waves, then decide to roam. And remember, whatever time you use to clear the wave, that counts as part of your 30 seconds. Once you get to the halfway point of your time remaining, so at 15 once you've cleared the wave, let's say you have 25 seconds left after I clear the wave. It took me 5 seconds to clear my wave. That's 25 seconds now to do a full roam, because you always want to try to be back at the wave no matter what, if you can. So that means you have 12 and a half seconds to walk somewhere, and that's your halfway point. So at 12 and a half seconds, I have to now decide, do I have time to walk back to my lane? Or now at 12 and a half seconds, am I committing to a roam? And you want to do that every time. Every time you roam, you have to know where your halfway point is and have time to get back to your wave. Because getting back to your wave on time is what's going to allow you to roam longer and faster than your opponent. And you also get more resources. Because you've probably noticed in your games, like the enemy mage drops a lot of waves. The enemy mage loses a lot of EXP because they're roaming a lot. A lot of people will roam too often, or they'll overstay their roams and they'll lose XP. Or they'll split EXP with their EXP laner and their gold laner, and they'll lose their other lane's EXP and gold because they stayed too long. Like, that's also an impact. If you stay in a wave too long and start taking waves, well, you're also stealing resources from your team. And you want to try to avoid that, because it's not that good. Right? Because, yeah, once you're in the lane, you split resources. Like, I don't know if you knew this, but that's why roams a lot of the time will be in your wave for the first couple waves, because they're taking some of your EXP so they can get level 2 faster. So they have their kit online. Not every roam will do that, but a lot of tank roams generally will be in your wave for the first wave or two to get EXP from you. It also helps you clear faster, and it lets you roam with them easier. But yeah, I think that's where we're gonna stop there. I don't think we need to go on any longer. Like, I've seen how you play a lot. Like, I mean, we can go over this quickly. I want to see your mid game. You have a couple of team fights, I guess. This is a great game. Yeah, it was great engage. That's perfect.
Launch attack. Our turret has been destroyed.
I mean, yeah, no, that was a good team fight. I mean, you're playing well. Like, you're 5-1-3. Like, you have 8k gold at this point. You're playing really well. Like, your mid game's fine. Honestly, you would be just up so much more gold here. Like, you're just losing gold and EXP, not because you're not getting it, but because you're not doing enough. You're playing too slow. Like, if you just increase your tempo and how fast you do things, you're gonna realize how easy this game feels for you. In reality, it's gonna feel a lot easier once you're on the map more. Yeah, we're gonna call it there. Do you have other than that, do you have any questions? Like, do you have anything that you want to go over? I don't recommend solo queuing Rome. I think it's honestly one of the worst decisions you'll make if you solo queue Rome. Because if you solo queue Rome, you honestly rely on your team for so many things. Like, as a mid laner, you have CC, you have damage, you can carry the game yourself. As a roam, you can only do so much before you have to rely on your team. Because the roam can't 1v9. The roam can't deal the damage, can't also do the CC, and also survive. Like, the roam has certain niches. Like, roam is either heavy CC, engaged, like tanky, or support, enchantress, or assassin. Like, it generally falls into 3 things, like damage, support, or tank. It's not one of those things that you can, like, carry your game solo on very consistently. If you dual queue, it's much easier. Like if you want to be a roam main, you should honestly have someone you play with consistently. That way you can have a consistent player that you can set up and play with. Because a roam is just like obviously it depends on the roam. If you play an assassin roam, yeah, it might work for a little while, but it's really hard to solo queue roam. In reality, it's not the roam. I wouldn't recommend it. It's probably the last thing I'd recommend for anyone. um, your safest options are like gold lane, jungle, and mid for solo queue. They're the easiest ones to consistently carry on, in my opinion. Okay. That's gonna be end of the VOD, unless you have another question.